Hello, everybody. This is Dwight Franklin from the Williams Franklin Foundation. I'm excited to be here today, and we are very excited to have Chris Gray, who is the founder of Scholly, and you all will learn some more about it. It is a fantastic app that has helped so many people get scholarships to college. And I know a lot of parents out there, a lot of students, and so forth are excited to hear this conversation. We are in the Secure the Bag, locating, applying, and winning scholarships with Chris Gray. And give you a brief introduction. We are the Williams Franklin Foundation. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, and our mission is to provide scholarships, networking, mentoring opportunities to HBCU students. So we are extremely excited here because there's a lot of need out there in our space, and we want to make sure that we can provide as much information to help people provide scholarships. We've provided scholarships to a little bit over 100 students in the past 6 7 years, securing providing over $265,000 in scholarships to students at HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities. And we are located in Washington, D.C., and excited to get this going. So I'm going to jump right into it and bring Chris on board. Hello, Chris. How you doing today?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Well, we are excited to have you here, man. Really excited. And you know, when I was reading about you, I heard about you from my daughter, as and I had, and actually the ironic thing is, on my phone some years ago, I had downloaded the Scholly app, had no idea I would be talking to the guy who invented it.
Great, thank you.
So I am personally excited to have you on board, man. Glad to have you here again. And do me a favor, tell us a little bit about yourself. What made you develop Scholly? Tell folks what Scholly's about, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama, so the deep South. And what motivated me to start Scholly was actually I won $1.3 million in scholarships for myself. I'm a first generation college student, so that means first in my family to go to college. And I had to find a way to pay for school. I was a good student, but not having guidance, family was bankruptcies and all this stuff, so I just had to find scholarships. And so I think going through that process myself, spending months looking for scholarships, months like trying to apply for them, it just led me to really create this product to help other people, especially students of color who oftentimes have the most student debt, and oftentimes because they're unaware of all these scholarships that exist. So I wanted to create a solution to that, and a solution that scaled, right? Because first I was helping people, being a consultant, working for free, volunteering, and then I was like, okay, I can't do all this by myself. So I wanted to create, something that was technology based, something that was an app that can help as many people as possible. So that's why I started Scholly. And as you mentioned, Scholly is a app, a mobile and web app that helps students find money for college. We also help students pay out. We also have graduates pay off their student debt. And we have a new product called Scholly Offers, which launched in August, that actually helps students earn extra money by by completing tasks that encourage financial literacy.
That's fantastic. Wow. Even paying off debt as well and got the new stuff coming in, man. That is fantastic.
Yeah, we pay off at least several $1 million worth in student loan debt every year. So that's something that
Wow.
we're really proud of. We have partnerships like with Natty Light, they pay off $1 million a year. We did a big partnership with Growers, we paid off student debt. So like we really expanded to help people beyond that. So and we have some other some exciting partnerships too. But yeah.
Man, that is great. And I gotta tell you, for me, and I tell you, I'm 51, about to turn 52, and I still think of myself as 22. So I don't think of myself as an old dude. But I know my youngest daughter thinks of me as an old dude, so like she reminds me all the time. But I'm gonna say this to you as a younger dude, right? It's great to see young African American men in particular doing stuff to help others and helping people try to advance their lives, expand their education. Because just like Nelson Mandela, that education is the key to success, and what you're doing is really tremendously helping people. I'm sure you know that. When you can graduate from college with as little debt to no debt as possible, and then be able to move on into your careers and your life, it really frees you up to do things that you really want to do instead of things you have to do in order to pay the bills. So kudos to you, man. That's a fantastic thing you've come up with. Did you have a background in technology at all before you did it?
No, I mean I'm from Birmingham, so I'm from the hood, so I didn't have any technology background. So Yeah, so I know I studied finance, taught myself how to code a little bit, but I also had found two co-founders who were professional developers who
Mhm.
went to school with me, who I ended up working with to help develop to help complete the project when
Nice,
the
nice.
first version of it.
Very nice, very nice. So you use your network. Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's it.
I
That's
mean,
it.
that's one of the really important things that I encourage students to find in college. Most of the business deals, opportunities I've gotten, even deals and people I work with now are people I networked with. Some people I went to college with. So I think that, a lot of times like those relationships really matter, especially if you're going to be an entrepreneur, but even you want to get a job, like those are the people that are vouching for you. Networking up is really, really important. And even also networking and surrounding yourself with like-minded people.
That you hit the nail on the head. We that's what one thing with the foundation is not just providing scholarships, but helping students learn how to network and navigate that. Because when I was coming up, I didn't really know how to do that, and there weren't classes in high school or classes in college about networking and the importance of it. And it's really you're right on, and it's great to see you expanded on that and using your network to help others. So that's phenomenal, phenomenal. And you mentioned that. While in high school, you secured 1.3 million in scholarships to attend college. In
Yeah.
2023, how can high school seniors and undergraduate students locate scholarships to help them win and get in?
So one, use Scholly. so
Right on.
The reason why I created the app is because it helps students find money for college very quickly. So we look for you, and we match you specifically with scholarships that you qualify for, and then we rank them. The app ranks them based on your likelihood to win. So we have something called the Scholly score that actually no that ranks just your likelihood to win based on your demographic, your stats, and things you put into the app. The app takes about a few minutes to sign up. And then it will match you. And then what's also unique about the product is that it follows you out high school throughout college. So you're actually constantly getting new opportunities. So when you are constantly checking the app, you're constantly seeing these new opportunities. So that's something that's really important to note, that the app is kind of stays with you and matches you constantly with opportunities. So it's not just one static list. You're applying to all those scholarships. So we take that part out for you in terms of locating the scholarships. Yeah, and I think that really the students focus on just applying for them, but we take the search part out of that. And we are currently working on a product where we're gonna have a quick apply process with scholarships, where you actually be able to apply. You sign up for the product and be able to apply kind of a common app sort of approach, where you have to apply
Oh
to
yeah.
scholarships with one application.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. So everybody out there, just so you know, Scholly, Scholly. Go to the app on your phone, look it up. Parents out there, Scholly, look it up on the App Store, download it, and go through the process as Chris is saying. It can save you tons of money, people. And that's what we all want. We want to keep that money in our pocket. So now Scholly has over 4 million users. Is that correct?
Yep.
Wow, man, that's amazing. And it's helped raise over $100 million,
Yep. Yeah,
right?
we've tried to help students raise over the past 8 years. Over $100 million in scholarships have been won. Pretty much most students use our platform every year. Like we have about like there's literally only a certain amount of students go to college every year. And most of them are using Scholly, so we kind of monopolize kind of the market. And most of our competitors have shut down or are just outdated. So like we are literally servicing most of the students in America right now. So yeah, it's really cool to see that activity, see winners, and connect with our partners. And we also give out a lot of scholarships as well. We give out like several million of our own money, and we also give out. We have partners like Amazon, Google. We have individual celebrities like Lil Nas X, et cetera, who put their scholarships on our platform. And sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars at a time. So we're constantly we're constantly engaging with just new opportunities. But we've given a lot of money, and we've seen a lot of people win. And also with the scholarships, what we are really proud of is not just we're matching students scholarships, but we've created more scholarships, which are putting more and more money into the marketplace that wasn't there before Scholar. So
That is really really awesome. And students when they come in, they can get scholarships to go to any school, right? It's not just HBCUs,
yep.
it's not just PWI, it's any school out there, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of scholarships specifically for people with HBCUs, but yes, we are able to, but we are able to like match you with scholarships that can go anywhere. But we do have a lot of scholarships specifically for HBCU students. So.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And anybody watching this, don't ever let the finances be a deterrent to you getting your education.
Mhm.
You've got these tools out here. You got Scholly out here. You never know what you can get until you start searching in Scholly. All right, so go check it out. I'm doing a plug for you because I want. I've heard so many great things about it. I want to make sure everybody knows about it. And it's simple. It's right on your phone. You just go into the app and you start going through the questions and figuring out what works for you, and it'll pull up a variety of scholarships. So use it and don't let that money, don't let those tuitions and all those fees add up. You can get money. Now, when you got your 1.3 million, what you do with the other, with the million plus that you?
Well, yeah. So I got some nice refund checks.
Yeah,
But yeah, but you only can use what you're awarded. Yeah.
yeah,
So like, yeah. So I was awarded a bunch of scholarships, but like, you can
nice.
only use what you cost to go to school.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
so I was fortunate enough to get to win a lot, but doesn't mean I can use $1 million. They didn't just like write that check. So yeah.
Right, right, right. Very good, very good. I had to put that plug in there so people don't think folks are walking away with money.
Yeah. You can only it's only for school, so you can only pay for what the total cost of school. You can win as much as you want, but they're only going to award what you need to use.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Now let me ask you this: what makes Scholly's platform different from its competitors?
I think that our matching algorithm, so we're matching it with scholarship in real time. Two, you're constantly getting a new list. So a lot of our competitors give you one static list. So here's your list, you apply, and that's it. We are constantly giving you new matches. Another big opportunity, another big thing is that we actually help students all throughout college. Most of our competitors help high school students going into college, but we help you. We can be match you with college freshman years, sophomore year, senior year, junior year of college, like throughout college, right? And also we have resources to help you pay off your student debt, and we have resources to help you earn extra money. So like we have like partners that'll give you like $50 to $100 just by like downloading an app or things like that. So like these are things that are good for cash strapped students.
Mm.
So that's kind of how we're really different. The quality of the product, the matching, and the amount and the fact that we follow you throughout college. So just because you're in high school, you don't win as much as you need. Scholar can still help you win scholarships while you're in college too.
Wow, that is fantastic. The ability to be able to even find, like you just mentioned, $50 here for downloading an app or something, that can help kids and students while they're in school for paying for meals and to help them get through, you know, those sort of issues that people have. So I mean that is good stuff, man. Really good stuff. And then I like how you're expanding it. I haven't heard of apps helping students pay off their debt like that. That's tremendous. Was that a concept that you came up with? Like how did that come? How did that come to the next evolution of Scholly?
Yeah, so a lot of them are in the form of campaigns. So we have partners that agree to put together a fund, or we put together a fund to pay off student debt. So we pay off all their debt. We just run a campaign with Jesse Williams. We paid off up to $100,000 in student debt. We had Grant paid 125,000. We did $1 million one time. We did $2 million. We throughout the year. So we do these partnerships annually. But we do have a product called Scholar Payoff, which also auto enrolls you into plans, to government plans that can reduce your monthly payments based on what you make. And we enroll you quickly and faster than that the government does. You have to do all the paperwork and all that, kind of like a TurboTax sort of thing.
Mhm.
And that has helped a lot of students and project a lot of students save a lot of money. That product has been shelved because student loans are in forbearance now, so no one's paying off debt. But we do help people lower their payments because there's actually over 22 million out of the 44 million people who have student debt. Actually, a lot of them are paying more per month than they actually should be paying based on their income. They
Wow.
just don't know about these plans. So that's something that we also make people aware of. But in addition to that, we also just pay off a lot of student debt.
Okay. Okay. That's great. That's great. We had a question come in that I thought was an interesting one to ask from one of the viewers. Is there a cost to use the Scholly app?
No, we do. There's a premium version that's like $2.99, like $2.99.
Okay.
But we have a free version that's give you most of the scholarships for free. So
Cool. 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 And just repeat, when he said 299, he added $2.99. And when been thinking $299.
yeah, not 2.99. Yeah, $2.99. Yeah.
Right. 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 Cool. Very cool. Very cool. Now let me ask you this: what should students look for to assure a scholarship application is legit and authentic?
So a scholarship application should not be asking for your social security number. They should not ask you for any interperson that they need to make a decision. So that's a big thing. So there are a lot of scams out there that are like asking for bank information and Social security number, any like interpersonal information to make that decision is something they can't, because when you actually award the scholarship, they'll have a verification process around that stuff, right?
Mhm.
Definitely do your research, look at, past winners, look at legitimate scholarship organization, make sure they're reputable. You can go on LinkedIn, make sure that people actually work for that organization. But the biggest thing, they ask you for irrelevant, I mean, very personal and irrelevant information to make a decision on the scholarship, mainly being bank account information or your social security number, which is none of which should be necessary to selecting a scholarship. Also, for most people who are minors, they shouldn't be asking you for that information legally anyway. So, but we actually have a quality assurance team that every scholarship that goes into Scholly is vetted, checked
Oh, good.
extensively before it even goes on our platform. So we actually that's one reason. That's actually another way we're different from our competitors, is that a lot of our competitors just data mine information, and they just like put whatever they find on the internet. You can just go and say, I want to post my scholarship. Just like you can post a job on LinkedIn. With Scholly, we have a vetting process. We have a team of like 6 7 people who constantly vet all our scholarships and make sure they're up to date, they are legitimate before they even go live on our platform.
That's awesome. That is a great benefit because that helps people be ensured that when they're going through the Scholarly app and when they're applying, it's a legitimate, already QA process of curating scholarships to ensure that they're above the line, so to speak. Right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. We had another question that came in, and I'm gonna give a little plug here for Amber Quinney. She's known as the scholarship queen. She was our very first awardee in 2014.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give a little plug to Amber out there. She had a question, and she helps students provide scholarships, and she wants to know how can smaller, little known scholarship providers list their scholarship on Scholarly?
They reach out to our team. We have a process. So reach out to our team, and then and then our team will actually submit it. So they can, it's reach out to info@myscholar.com. Our our customer support team will see it, and our partnership team will vet it. We'll take it through our process and make it live.
Cool, 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 cool. So anybody out there, Amber, any others, follow what Chris said, go through the vetting process, get in there and help provide money. So this is awesome, great stuff,
Yeah.
great stuff. Now, Chris, what are some steps students can take to find multiple scholarships and make a plan to apply before the deadlines?
The strategy is that, so first of all, find multiple scholarships that you qualify for, which Scholarly will help you do. And then and the deadlines is that you actually want to really make sure that you are for when you're doing a multiple deadline. So when you go on the app, like if you press favorite scholar, we'll actually see push notifications when the
Mhm.
deadlines are coming up. So that's
Nice,
helpful.
nice.
But I think that what you should do is that a lot of scholarships ask for the same essay. So one tip I actually tell students that find a lot of scholarships, consolidate, and find out one that have similar essay requirements. What about you gonna do for career? What do you want to do in your career and feature and all that stuff, and actually do that. And once you do, you can apply to multiple. It makes it easy to apply to multiple scholarships at one time, because the essay is the biggest part, right?
Mhm.
Everything else is just your demographic information, your leadership, and all that stuff. But everything else is pretty straightforward. So what you should but applying to multiple scholarships, that's what makes it easy. But finding them, like the app does that for you. But applying to multiple scholarships and deadlines is the best way to do it, is figure out, find a bunch of scholarships that have similar requirements and do them all. Like, for example, someone asks for letter of recommendation. Oftentimes you can reuse letter of the recommendation from different from your professors or teachers or
Mhm.
youth organization you're a part of. So you can use that to apply to multiple scholarships. Well, you don't need to just, you can really scale the process. And now these days, these kids, they have AI that can help them
Right.
write essays. So it's like y'all have more technology. They have more technology than we do. I mean, I don't know how fair and equitable that is, but they have technology that's writing dissertations right now for people. So y'all should, between Grammarly and all these other
Right,
technologies,
right.
essays should be easier. I mean, I was doing this 13 years ago, so I would say that they're the process that can scale. We are working on a common app, so we are working on a way where you can apply to a bunch of scholarships in one application, but
Hmm.
that's still in the process. Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. That will be very slick when you do that. Now, you mentioned essays. What tips do you have for students that are going through that process of the application process for essays? What tips do you have for the essays?
The essays is that be tell a story. I think that don't do the essays. Oh, I where you're basically make an essay about your resume. Tell like really allow them to get to know you. Tell a story. My AP literature teacher was for Miss Tidwell. I write about her in my book. She was great in helping with my essays. So one of the things I will definitely say is make sure that your essays tell a story. So it would be like I'll talk about this leadership thing I did, but I'll also talk about a specific experience. Like that essay is like some of these scholars are not doing interviews. So that essay is probably the only way they're going to get to know you. So
Hmm.
be as personable as possible,
Hmm.
and make sure that they when they and reread it, and make sure and make sure that they get an understanding of you in that essay. Another essay is that they generally should be 300 to 500 words. 500 words is the average. Don't send people long essays. Remember, humans are reading them, and humans get to know it and tired of have ADD. So, honestly, I've done it before. Please don't write a long. Please do not write long essays. Please, like the longer is not better. They also want to see your ability to write. So around 500 words, unless they say otherwise, it's generally like the best rule of thumb to get that. Tell a story, keep within 500 words, and make sure that obviously you make sure you proofread everything with Grammarly and all those things, and also be creative. One of my essays actually wrote like a poem actually to describe myself. It was really interesting.
Oh,
I got
nice.
that. Some people do really creative things to stand out. So do something cool. Also, like when you're reading, when you're writing, make sure that you have some tutor or someone go over, read it for you to make sure that you're getting feedback. Also, make sure everything's grammatically correctly. Yeah, y'all got technology to help y'all do that. But it really makes sure you're telling a story because a lot of the essay people who I know who work for scholarships say these essays they don't stand out. They're too quick. I don't know much about this person, and we also review thousands and thousands of essays and scholar for our own scholarships all the time. So I would just say that yeah, keep it concise, tell a story, keep within 500 words, make sure everything's grammatically correct, and make sure that when you read it, they know they get some sense of who you are as it relates to the goal of the scholarship and the essay prompt.
That's perfect. I couldn't have said any better than myself. We've gotten over 500 applications for our scholarships, and what you just said, you just nailed it. Everything Chris said. Everybody do it. All right.
Yeah,
Um,
people. There's some young people that think like I gotta write this long essay, gotta put all this information. It's actually like a very bad the opposite. Like people don't really. No one wants to read long essay. People want to feel like I got this person. I met the student. This is dope. People do not need or want to read super long essays, and it just ends up like it's draining, and also it shows you. It also, from a writing perspective, shows you that this student can't get a point across in a concise way. So.
right, right. Let me ask you this: do you see a lot of scholarships that have video submissions?
Yeah. So some of them, not as many as used to, but we do have partners that do that. Ironically, one of the things that I would recommend for video submission is be as authentic as possible. A lot of them you do not have to do some, well produced, some produced video because obviously everyone can afford, a videographer and all that stuff. So just be authentic as possible. But again, be concise, but they'll usually tell you those things as well. But make sure you take your time, make sure it's edited and things like that. But there aren't a ton as much anymore because and the reason why they aren't is that people are trying to be equitable because we had one partner that had video submissions and the people that won had the kind of most well produced video content, but these were people who obviously can afford to
Mm,
pay people to do that, where it's a poor
sure.
student can't. So there's a kind of like an equitable thing there where like you can only, you can't pay an editor. You're trying to win money. You can't pay an editor like, a producer or videographer to come like film and create some sort of low budget indie film to produce a thing. So
Right.
you see some, but not as many as we used to.
Okay. Okay. Good advice. Now, what makes a winning application stand out from the pool of applicants?
Actually, it's the essay. So
Okay.
it's extracurricular, diverse amount of extracurricular activities you've done, community service, and your essay.
Hmm.
Your essay is they're kind of paying into your soul. The essay, but they also want to see a leader. A lot of times, it's funny that a lot of the most successful people that you grow with are sometimes are likely not going to be the valedictorian of your class, the salutatorian, the people that just focus only on academics. It's the people that were active in their community, that did stuff, that were involved in extracurricular activities. I got more scholars than in my class, but I had my own organization, I did stuff, and I was also poor, right? So I didn't, I didn't have resources, I just hustled. So I would say be involved in your community, do community service, try to be engaged.
Hmm.
They want to, because people want to invest in the future leaders of America. They just don't want,
Sure.
invest in, the person that was like, the super straight A student that only that them, they end up just being, just end up just not really, doing something cool. But like a lot, look at the president of the United States, the most CEOs I know who are running multi-million dollar companies. They were, they work. You can working hard and working smart is the best way to go, and that makes you stand out. So, view community service, leadership, and also just having a really, really good, well read, well thought out essays. I think something that can really just make you stand and be creative with the things you do, right? Because you are competing against students. You don't really know, necessarily who you're competing with, but that's kind of the best, thing to do.
Great advice. Great advice. I know when I was coming out, and I wanted to say this earlier, we didn't have Grammarly, we didn't have computers. I was doing essays on
Yeah,
typewriters with the tape to cross out when you when you
yeah,
misspell the word. You probably don't even know about that, but it's a lot easier now, and everything you're saying makes a lot of great sense. I hope everybody takes this under strong advisement because what Chris is saying is right on point. And well, I have a couple more questions for you.
mhm.
What are some things that most students don't know about applying for scholarships that can help them win? Is there anything else you can add to that?
I think that I honestly think that quantity and quality, you have to apply for a lot of them. I apply for a lot of scholarships. I mean, you never know who you're competing with. You have to apply to as many scholarships as possible, right? You have a great essay, you can have all the things I mentioned, but you got to apply for a lot. You cannot put all your eggs in one basket. I applied for hundreds, right? That may be unrealistic, but there is now the apply for. I just wrote the same. That reuse the same essays for a lot of different scholarships, but yeah, I would really, really apply for as many as possible. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, and things like that. And yeah, and also and even if you can't if you can't get all that in high school, there's so many scholarships. In fact, there are even more scholarships that are for students who are currently in college than students who are not. So just don't give up if you can't get them all if you're in high school.
Mhm.
Because our data shows that most of our scholarship winners are actually students who are already in college. So
Gotcha.
yeah, so that's something I would really encourage, because some students get to college and give up and they just take out a bunch of student loans saying high school was it, So that's
Mhm.
something I would really encourage. We Around 60% of the scholarships in our database are for current college students, like who are
Wow. Wow.
so
Could you repeat that one more time, please?
around like 60% of the scholarships there in our database are for current college students. And
Very nice.
actually, and that correlates actually with the majority, over half of the students who use Scholar are already currently in college as well. So, and a lot of our users are people that we were engaged with since high school, and they just use the app year after year.
Wow. That's fantastic. So my takeaway from that is if you are applying for college for the first time, don't let money be a deterrent. Get in, get what you can, get in. Even if you got to take on some debt, take it on, get into college, and still keep applying every year after year after year. Work your butt off and use Scholly app, get some more funding, and get your debt lowered that way. But don't let the money be a deterrent for you achieving your goals. Don't
Yep.
let that happen. Don't let that happen. The another question came in was which is a good question. Students with lower GPAs, what's your advice for them? What can they do? And also, my second part of that would be: are GPAs a big aspect of the scholarship application process?
I think that it depends a lot. There are a lot of scholarships that don't even ask for GPA. But I think that I think generally I'm having a 3.2, 3.3 for a lot of merit based service, and need based is pretty good. A lot of students who had 3.9, 4.0 didn't necessarily get the scholarships. A lot of the scholarships were focused on other aspects like leadership and all that stuff. There are a lot of scholarships don't even look at GPA at all. Now I would say most of them, but none of them don't, because they do want to kind of know that we're gonna send somebody to go to college who's gonna do their work. Yeah, so but yeah, that's what I would say. It's a I would in terms of that, I would just use that strategy.
Okay, okay. Great advice. Great advice. Chris, to wrap it up, is there anything you want to let everybody know about Scholly app that I haven't asked? Or any advice you want to give students and parents? Anything?
Yeah, obviously use Scholly, use the app. We love working with students. I also have a book called "Go Where There's No Path." You can get it in Barnes
Nice.
and Noble, Amazon, Walmart. but you can go to Amazon. It's probably easy to get it. So it's a book that actually I walk you through actually more granular detail of my story,
Excellent.
and you can actually see that. I don't know if I can put that in the chat, the link to that, or I
Can you probably can. Yeah, go ahead. Can you
could
do it?
send it to you, Dwight, to see. But I don't know if I can put it in this. There's a chat here, and the link. Oh, it's a private chat, I think.
Okay, I think I got it. I'll put it in here to everybody.
Yeah, 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 you got it. Yeah, so I think you can put it there. So that's my book. Actually, it goes into my entire story, even starting Scholly, scholarships, high school, teachers that helped me, all that stuff. So it gives into more detail around that. So it's really so I would just check that out. And that's probably something. It's probably
Awesome.
something we should like probably do for the scholars too, and maybe give them a copy of the book or something.
Oh, that would be fantastic. We'll touch base with you afterwards. I'd love to be able
Okay.
to do that. Is it an audiobook too?
Huh?
Is it an audiobook as well?
Audio book and everything. Audio
Awesome.
book, Kindle, everything.
Awesome. 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 Chris, thank you so much taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you got some things going on today, and spending it with our family. And man, we wish you all the best. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great work, and I'm going to get your book so I can download it for myself. I love hearing how people got started and the intricacies of what made them successful. So, kudos to you, brother. Very nice to meet you, and best of luck.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for having me, and you guys have a great rest of your evening. Thanks for spending time with me on your Sunday, and I'll look forward to hearing from you guys soon. All right.
Cool. Take care. Bye bye.